Om Shanti. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Brahma Kumaris Silicon Valley, we welcome you all for this webinar today, The New Me, The New Beginning. My name is Rajni. I'll be the presenter on behalf of Brahma Kumaris Silicon Valley today. I work as a rheumatology physician. I have been associated with Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center for the last 20 years, and I have gained a lot of knowledge, and I always feel a sense of protection and guidance with this meditation and teachings. So we want to share a little bit of it today. So we'll start with a few minutes of meditation. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Take a slow, deep breath in and breathe out. Just focus on your breathing. Deep breath in and breathe out. As you breathe in, inhale the calmness and peace. And breathe out any tension that's holding the body or the mind. Deep breath in and out. Visualize and experience a golden beam of light above your head, passing through the body, from the head, slowly through the body, going out through the feet, removing any negativity from the body. Again, feel that golden beam of light cleansing the body from the head to the feet. I notice my mind is also calming down. My mind is calm and clean. And I take this time to reflect the newness that I want to bring in myself. With that enthusiasm, we'll start. So before we start, if I may ask you, all of you, just think about one quality quickly you want to bring in and add that quality as an adjective before your name and put that in the chat window if you can. Let's say I want to become more obedient and disciplined, so I can put disciplined Rajni or obedient Rajni. So quickly you want to put any of the qualities that you can quickly think of and put in front of your name and write your name in the chat window. I see a couple. Fear-free, calmness, determined, not be angry anymore, content, peace, very beautiful, courageous. Yes. So hold on to that and we'll see at the end about it. And if some of you are still thinking, you can think and put it in front of your name and remember that self-reliant. Okay, good. So we all are seeing that there's a lot going on in the nature, in the health of the planet, health of the people, and in all fields of life. We are seeing there's something big things disturbing our way of life to small things disturbing our way of life. Did we ever think of the devices that make us addicted to them? The digital devices making us addicted to them. Did we ever even think of that? But last week in our webinar, we saw how bad it has become. It's disturbing our life. So from simple things to major things in the world are disturbing our ways of life. But we don't want to just focus on that. We want to understand that there is also something enormous underway that's getting more creative, more beautiful, more pure. So now we can decide where we want to focus, right? When we know that there's something disturbing, but there's equally stronger and powerful force that's becoming more creative and pure, we know that this is the confluence of the old and new, and we want to focus on that newness. We want to focus on that something getting more constructive. So automatically the unnecessary old destroying habits will be destroyed and the new me will emerge. So we'll look into that today. Sorry. So we know what we are, the old as we know, and we want to become the new. That also we know what we want to. We have so many things for us. We keep thinking time to time, but we didn't have some time to put everything into practice. But now that is what we want to start. We have to change. We have to change our ways from a thought level. Only when we bring that change, and I'm sure we all have finished that checking. A lot of us, we are checking ourselves and we want to get that something new. So now we should just bring that new change in us. That will bring us the newness. And that change should come from the thought level. Only when it comes from the thought level and the level of our awareness, that's when the right changes will come and the permanent changes will come. Otherwise, there is a chance of losing that. So this is the time to refocus and to renew our thought patterns, our awareness, our understanding from the foundation level so we can bring that new us. So can anybody share quickly, why do you want to think about bringing something new? We talked a little bit about it, why, but then anybody wants to tell your personal thing, like quickly, why do you want to get that new me? Old ways affecting growth, thoughts bothering you. Okay. So we know that that's bothering and something is wrong. And we also know that that is not just us. Like, when do we think that we want to bring the change? When we know that this is not just me, there is something much more than what I'm giving myself. We have given a lot of false identities for us. I have given myself being fearful. Maybe somebody else has given their false identities that they can't do something, or they are angry, they're not content. Like that, we have given a lot of false identities, and we ourselves know we are much more than that. And that's why we want always that newness to come from inside, because we know that we are much more than what we are right now. And also, time to time, the Mother Nature, as always, is helping us and is giving us the signals that there is big change happening just ahead of us at all levels. And so we have to bring that newness also. The Mother Nature also knows that we are not this identity that we have given to us now. We are much more than what we are. So Mother Nature and the self are giving us the signals to bring that newness. And the secret is that newness we all are looking for is who truly we are. Unless we know the taste of something, we won't crave for that, or we won't think of it, right? A fruit or a sweet or anything, if we don't know the taste of it, we won't crave for it. We won't try to get it. So that newness we are looking for is our original self, who truly we are. And we have just got layered and mixed with all the other negativities. So we want to bring that newness out. So that's what we are going to do today. So let's begin that. So we'll start talking from a little computer related things to very higher levels, because nowadays we are so used to our devices and phones and computers and everything. We talk with them mostly, not even people, right? So we'll understand from that level. So what do we do when our computer is not working properly? It's getting slowed and everything is getting stuck. What do we do? The only thing I know from a non-tech level is to just reboot. So let's try doing that for the self also. We want to reboot the self, because that rebooting helps our mind run efficiently and think right and clear, because it erases the randomly stored memories. Like it flushes the RAM in the computer, very similarly, it erases the randomly stored memories. Unnecessarily, we were storing some memories in our mind space. And unless we clean up those temporary files and unnecessary things, there will be no space for the newness. And the originality is getting covered up on it, and there's no space for the newness. Even in our phones, when we need more space, we remove some things that we don't need. We were storing without knowing about them. We were storing all those data and we remove them. So very similarly, this rebooting the self will erase some of those randomly stored memories, and will clean up those temporary files and processes, and will keep our mind free, and will give us that freedom to become clean and new. So we want to reboot and forget about our self-destructing apps. We all have stored a lot of self-destructing apps. So in this process, we want to get rid of those apps. Anybody wants to share what are the apps that you want to delete from yourself? Guilt. Very important thing and very big thing. We want to get rid of that chains of guilt holding for us. Keep thinking. So a lot of us, we feel that fear, anxiety of the unknown, worry, expectations from the family, from the people around us, anger, and guilt over the self for whatever mistake we did, knowingly or unknowingly. We are just binding ourselves in a prison of that guilt. So we really want to We really want to remove that distracting app today, now, and then self-doubt and never-ending desires, which is very, very important. We are living in a very abundant materialistic world, and we are running behind things, and without knowing what we are losing, running behind them. So we really want to get rid of those self-destructing apps. So the only way to do is to reboot ourselves. And how do we reboot a computer? We don't reboot a computer when we are doing some task, right? We will just keep it alone. We'll start rebooting, and then it doesn't even allow to do anything on the computer, because the computer also knows to reboot the computer, we just have to give it some silence. We have to give it some space. We can't just do multitasking of rebooting and doing something else on the computer, right? So it's very similarly, we have to give that silence for the mind. That is the only way we can start rebooting. Because with the silence, we can give the rest for all the senses of the physical body and the subtle powers of the mind also. So in silence, we can check what are those apps that are troubling, and we can erase those unwanted and troubling apps. And with that rest, we become so refreshed and we can get recharged. So that is very, very important. Remember, when we say to ourselves that we don't have time, we really have to check ourselves. We are giving that time to our phones and computers to get recharged and to get rebooted. What are we doing for ourselves? And a lot of times we keep going towards the phone or the computer or the media or things like that, is somewhere we don't know what we have to do with ourselves. We know maybe, but we are not practicing how to spend time with the self and how to spend time in silence. So that's why the easy thing is the device, going behind the devices and going behind the social media, things like that, looking at others' lives and all that stuff we are doing, just because we don't know how to practice that silence, which is very, very needed for us. So remember, the time we're giving to the computers and the devices, are we giving to ourselves, to our mind? And think about it, and please start practicing that silence. And another way to reboot the self is to spend the time in nature, with the nature. Instead of listening to the sounds on the devices, we can start listening to the wind. It talks. We can listen to the silence. It speaks. The inner mind and heart speak. And listen to your heart, because it knows what we need. And once we start observing the nature's beauty, the flowers, fruits, trees, everything, the happiness they give, we realize that same lies inside us. That's why we are seeing that happiness and beauty in the external world also. So silence and spending time in nature are very much needed to reboot the self. And the other things we can do, or we all know, good nutrition for the body and mind, including not giving too much harming information to the mind, exercise, good restful sleep, and meditation. We all know, we tell easily all these things, but we want to start putting them in practice. Because what happens in meditation and in that silence and in that spending time in nature, we can replace some of the internal folders, like anger if somebody has a problem, or if one of us has a problem of guilt, we can replace that folder with peace and self-love and love for others. Because in that silence and meditation only we can work on our thoughts. And once we work on our thoughts, we make them positive and powerful, our words, actions, our life becomes the same. So it's very, very important to start that process of rebooting the self today. Because sometimes later becomes never. So I want to request you all to just sit in silence for a minute or two and tell yourselves what we want to do. Because we want to do it now, starting now. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. And switch off all the thoughts of the external world in a second. Give that command to your mind. Just be still and calm. Just focus on yourselves. Some of us already know what's troubling us. If not, check what app is troubling you. In this silence, with the inner power, give that command to your mind to erase that troubling app. No questions, will it be erased or not? The process started. Feel yourselves free of that guilt, free of that fear, free of those troubling apps. Because of the time, I just spent only a few seconds, but please spend some time in silence and just give yourself those thoughts to check what's causing the trouble and how big the trouble is. Example, one soul shared guilt. It's a very, very, very big problem. You might have heard from one of us in some of the webinars, but guilt is the cause of many physical illnesses. As you know, stress is the cause of any illness, even a little kid will tell now. But as a rheumatologist, I see a lot of young patients lately than when I'm studying with all these arthritis conditions, autoimmune conditions. And really, in the textbooks, they are written, guilt is the cause of some of these conditions. Because guilt is lacking that self-love. And if you look at the word illness, I-L-L, I lack love. Illness starts when I lack love for myself. Guilt is that. So please understand that we don't want to feel guilty. We want to learn from the past mistake. Somewhere in our lives, we might have needed that experience of that mistake to move forward. So take it that way and please remove that guilt and remove those chains of guilt that's holding you and become free. Learn from that mistake and move forward. And in this process, we have so much help from everywhere. So try to take that. So after that rebooting, we want to restore the self. So we're going quickly, just in this an hour webinar, right, of this rebooting, restoring and all, that spend time for yourself. The holidays coming up, we have some free time, and this is that time of the year where we want to make some choices for ourselves. So please start doing that. So once we reboot and remove all those unnecessarily randomly stored memories, we want to restore the self. And anybody wants to share how we can restore the self? Very quickly, what you're thinking. Somebody said positive thoughts, self-love, meditation, connected with Supreme. Very good. We all know the answers. We just want to start the process. So let's do that. One of the very important things that we all are taught from our childhood is what? How do we restore the self? By giving. Giving is receiving. It's a very, very, very big form of receiving and restoring the self. We just have to have the thought of giving, and then receiving starts happening. Even on the path of devotion, you might have heard from some of your elders, grandparents, they say that if you're lacking something, go and donate that. In whatever way you can get that in the right way, get that and donate that, then you start getting that. So there is a big science in it, a big spirituality behind it. Giving is receiving. So we have to start giving, and how we can get that, we will also understand that slowly once we start giving. And some of you might have heard an example that we shared in the past also, but I'll very quickly share just to remind ourselves. Think of about a kid who took his lunchbox to his friends and shared his food with the friend. And the kid is very happy that the friend liked the food very much. The friend is very happy. This kid who shared is also very happy. And he goes home, and he tells mom, the food is very tasty. My friend liked it very much. I shared with him. He felt very happy, and I felt very happy that he was happy. And what will mom do tomorrow? She'll think that, okay, my kid is sharing, so my kid also needs something extra so he can be full and he can share with the friends. So she'll pack more food. He didn't ask for it, but she'll pack more food. So the kid will be happy, and the other kid who he's sharing with is also happy. So when we start giving, the things come to us without our knowledge from the higher source. So we start giving, not taker anymore. And what do we get? If we give love, we get joy. Like that, whatever quality, whatever things we share, we get the joy and happiness and everything from the universe, from the higher source, from the self. So giving is receiving. So what can we give? We'll look into that. A few qualities we'll see, and then we will also look more into the higher level of charging the higher self, and the most powerful, easy ways of charging the self we'll look into. But to start with, one of the very important things is to forgive, to forget. If you look at the words itself, they say forgive, to forget, give, to get. So we have to forgive ourselves of our mistakes from the past. Then only the learning happens. We can't be bound with the chains of guilt and all those other negative emotions. And we want to forgive the others also, because for some reason, whoever the mistake could be, it just happened like that. So once we start forgiving, the power comes to us, and the power comes to the other person also to get transformed. And here we don't want to say why I have to forgive. Yes, we have to forgive because we want to get that peace. We want to get that joy. We want to get that freedom. We're not forgiving their mistakes just for the sake of them. We are forgiving for our sake also, to empower both us and others also. So when we forgive, we give ourselves that wings of peace. Because what happens when somebody says something to us, they only said once or twice. But how many times we repeat it in our mind? 1,000 times and more. And we are losing that peace and happiness from within. So whose benefit is it to forgive? It's our benefit, right? More than any others. So when we forgive others and forgive ourselves, we give those wings of peace and happiness to the self. So without a question, we can start practicing that forgiving the self and forgiving the others, always keeping the safety at the first place. Forgiving at the level of thoughts will bring us that wings of peace and happiness. So we can't ask, what can I give also? We can forgive definitely to get. And then one more important thing at this time of the year, when we all take resolutions also, and we are sitting here to bring that newness, I want to really talk about is that compassion. And we all know we are compassionate. We have so much compassion. Knowingly, we will not hurt anyone. Knowingly, we don't want to hurt anyone. And there's so much there to save the animal life, to get the pets and to give them the shelter and all that stuff. We are so compassionate. But if someone has the habit of eating animal food, please consider, this is the call of the time. We want to show our compassion to each and every living creature. They're not harming us, right? Who are we to label one animal as a pet and one animal as food? So I don't want to be harsh, please don't take it otherwise, but please think about it. That is a form of causing trouble, violence actually, like towards the animal kingdom, right? The ecosystem. So please try to think about it at this time of the year, at this time in our lives, at this time of this confluence of the old and the new and the transformation period that we are seeing in our lives in front of us. So please bring that compassion to each and every living creature, not just the pets that we are having, but all the animal kingdom, the ecosystem. And I will be very happy if you take that resolution to start eating only vegetarian food and showing that compassion. And this is from a heart level, right? The compassion and from a higher level. But even if you take it the physical level, it's not at all good for our health. And I think we have gone through this studies and all in the previous webinars also. You can Google, you can learn a lot how animal food is very, very bad for our health. Animal food is pro-inflammatory, means it causes a lot of inflammation in the human body, and our human digestive system is not made for animal food. And you might have heard the news recently also, the meat that is being served in the restaurants or that is being sold is put in some chemicals such that the spoiled meat also doesn't look spoiled. It doesn't smell spoiled, but it looks good. But actually, it's not even possible to consume that if it is in the original form, it seems. So you are seeing so much industrialization, so much things going on this animal kingdom in life. So please think about it and start doing that. So when we ask some questions, like sometimes friends say that, what can we give? Sometimes we feel like empty to give, but no, we can start giving a lot. And one of it is that showing compassion to the animal kingdom, showing compassion to all the living creatures, and becoming that person who has compassion to every living creature and start eating that vegetarian food only. So please think about it. And then one more thing is, our planet's health is in our hands. We think that our good health is in our planet's hands, right? Which is true also, because if the nature is all healthy and good, working everything in its appropriate times and places, our health is in good hands, good planet's hands. Very similarly, our planet's health is in our hands. We want to start living in harmony with the nature. You know, we have heard in scriptures and our elders and everybody, what did we hear? We are the rulers of the nature also, because the nature follows us, the nature helps us. That's what we have heard. But what are we doing? We're not ruling, we are like almost invading, like we're doing a lot wrong things to damage the ecosystems of our planet. This is the time to take care of our planet, because we are living on the planet. So our health is in our planet's hands. So planet's health is in our hands. So we want to really, really think about it. And this is all something that we don't need to get anything to give. From the thought level, from the inner power, the inner resources, we can start giving all this. We can start learning how to live good again. We can start living with simplicity. This is the time that people go out a lot and do a lot of shopping and all, but we can think how we can shop effectively, efficiently, without harming the ecosystem. So living with simplicity, what all we needed. That doesn't mean again not to be ambitious, not to be buying things and all, nothing like that. The resources are there to enjoy, but not at the level of harming the ecosystems or the self, right? So living with simplicity, using economically, buying compassionately, and sharing generously. Some of the things you can keep in your minds, think about them, and start putting them in practice. So we can give all this. We can forgive to get. We can be very compassionate to all the living creatures, and our planet's health is in our hands. So we want to start giving with that. So let's sit for a few minutes and start giving and see what all we can give. So we know that we can give just within 5 minutes also, what we can give, how much we can give. So sit comfortably again. Close your eyes if you want to. And just make your heart big. Expand your heart with love. And we'll start sharing that love. I thank my body by giving love and respect to my physical body that's helping me experience this world. That's helping me to breathe the life. I take care of my body with love and respect, the gentle care it needs. I share this love to all my family members. Give this love to the fresh air that's helping me live my life. send this fragrance of love to the fresh air. I respect the water and charge it with my love-filled vibrations. I know my body is made of water, 72%. I need water for all my life activities. I charge it with love-filled vibrations. And I send out this love to the whole universe. This love, these thoughts are being spread in the universe. This will echo in the whole universe. Om Shanti. Did you all feel good? Anybody wants to share? Did you feel good sharing that love? Yes? Anybody else? Yes? I only see a few answers. Felt good, somebody said. It feels like whole world is family. Very beautiful thought. Yes. How many seconds we did? I don't even think of complete 2 minutes we did, right? Felt light. Yes, it's so good. Only 2 minutes of sharing that love-filled thoughts. We felt so good. So how much we got when we were just sharing that 2 minutes of love that we have? So we have to practice that. We have to practice that. Only then it comes to us as a second nature. Already without any practice, naturally we gave that love, right? Because it's our nature. Giving is our nature and receiving happens automatically. Giving is the starting point. We just have to give, and comes back to us like a boomerang. So now the next step is more powerful, more easy, more natural ways of restoring the self. Restore to the sources, connect to the sources itself. One is that we started giving and then we received. And then we connect to our sources also to be restored. And who are those sources that we can connect? The self and the highest on high. The first source we can connect to is locally to ourselves. And then the highest on high, the divine energy, God Himself is our ultimate source. Available source all the time, 24/7, 365 days, always available. We just have to get connected to Him, to that energy, divine energy, and we get charged. So that also we'll learn and then practice. Again, I want to show the second time because this is the time we have to practice. We know a lot, and we have to practice. Yesterday only I was listening to one of our senior teacher. She said one sentence which I really liked and I wanted to put in practice. Is she said, the only thing we have is today, this moment. So we have to take what all we can take now. She didn't even say take now, do now, but she said do what all you can do now. Do what all you can take now, because this is the only moment we have. This is the only day we have. Tomorrow, we don't know whether we have the same thoughts of taking or not. Also, we don't know, right? We want to be the same way, but we don't know. So today, we have the time to take. Today, we have the thought to receive, to get restored, and to share. So we have to do the best today. How much ever we can take now, we can take, get restored, and we can share. So now. And to do that process, very important thing we have to understand is to restart that process, we want to make sure the awareness is right. This is the time again for that awareness. We are so caught up in this materialistic world and things and duties and responsibilities, which are all good. We have to do that because we are here to do that. We want to do that. But with what awareness we are doing is what is very important. So what awareness we are to carry all the time is very important thing is we are spiritual beings on a physical journey, not physical beings on a spiritual journey. Keep this with you all the time, which helps me also. So I'm just sharing. We want to think, we want to be in the right awareness that we are spiritual beings on this physical journey, enjoying all these. But we don't want to get caught up in that physical being alone and searching for some spirituality. No, that's the wrong way it's going. But we are those spiritual beings on a physical journey. So what happens? We can utilize all our energy of the inner self to enjoy our journey. Otherwise, what happens if we just remember that we are physical beings, our energies, our powers will become so limited, and we are looking for something higher which we already have inside, but we are looking from somewhere else. But if we remember, I am that spiritual being already filled with that energies, qualities, carrying this physical journey, how beautiful the journey will become, you will see that. So remember, no more thinking of on a physical level, smarter, thinner, prettier, better. I need to be myself. What happens when I'm myself? I'll become smarter from inside out. I'll be healthy. I'll be prettier inside out, and I'll be better. So instead of just focusing on one characteristic on a physical level, we want to be our true selves, so we can achieve all the other things also. So let's restart the journey, right? So when we want to restart, we will have some questions so we can answer them and we can hold on to them and go with those directions. So we will learn today all these 4 things when we restart our journey, who truly we are. So with the right awareness, we can start the journey. And then who do I belong to? Who is my companion, helping me, guiding me in this journey? Once I know who I am truly, who is guiding me, and what is the current time that's going on, and what's my responsibility towards the self, the family, and the world. If we just answer these 4 questions, the journey will become very smooth and beautiful. So we will start the journey now. So to know that who am I, we want to take that inward journey. We want to take that inward journey. So I'll share a very quick example here. So a person who was looking for some help went to monk who's meditating, and then he asked, I really am looking for help. I don't have a job to sustain the family and all. Like that, he goes to the monk. So he says, go forward. He goes forward, and then he finds something, some real wood forest, that he can get wood from the forest. So he sells that, he starts getting some money able to sustain, and he's good, happy. And then he goes to the monk again and he says, I want to be more happy. And he says, go forward. And then now he finds the sandalwood forest. So he cuts the sandalwood and then he sells them, and then everything is going good. He's very happy. And then the monk asks him, after some years, he comes back to the monk and he says, I want to find more, explore more. He said, go forward. And then he finds the gold mines. He earns a lot. He becomes very rich and happy. A few years goes by. He goes to the monk again, that he wants something more. And then the monk says, go forward. He goes forward, and then he finds something like a diamond source there and all. And so he becomes even more richer, very happy. Everything is going good and beautiful. And then one day he gets a question. Monk knows all this, but why he didn't go forward? Then he goes to the monk and asks the monk, why did you not go all these ways? Because you know what's there in front, you have told me. And the monk says, I went even further. And he says, where did you go even further? He says, I went inwards. That is the resource of the inner true happiness that you are also searching for. You have all these physical possessions and everything which is needed, okay, for our lives. We want to enjoy our journey in this life. So it's good to get all those things. But ultimately, what that person is also wanting is that internal source, the inner happiness, the inner journey. So that's when he understood going inwards gives us that ultimate peace and happiness, along with all the external resources and things we can have. We don't want to forget that inner power, inner source. So that's why that inward journey becomes very, very important, because only when we go into that introversion, we can open our eyes to the universe that's inside us. So we have been searching out into the whole external universe, to other planets also, but this is the time to look inwards, to find that inner universe where we can find a life beyond belief, life beyond all these chains that we are getting caught up from the external world. So then we can lead our physical journeys with the help of that inner spiritual power who truly we are. So we can enter into those unlimited opportunities when we take that inward journey. So that's the first step. And what we find in that inward journey is we find ourselves like this light in this physical lamp. We are the living lights, that living energy residing in the center of the forehead in this physical body. We are those spiritual beings, spiritual lights, the beautiful light energies we are residing in these physical bodies, living our lives. So I am light. This light energy is the one that's leading this physical body. If I remember that, I can tap all the energies of this light energy that's inside the light. See, as soon as we see light, we feel so good, right? Because it's beautiful. It gives the beauty to the surroundings. It shows the path to us. Everything is so beautiful. So very similarly, if I remember that I am light, traveling in this physical body, taking this journey, then I tap all my inner resources, inner powers to lead my life, to take this journey in a beautiful way. So as soon as I remember that I'm light, I have that happiness emerging from me, love, purity, peace, powers, bliss, and knowledge. All these qualities come out naturally when I have the awareness that I am this light energy running this physical body, taking this physical journey. So that is the newness we are all looking for, which we truly we are, because this is the new awareness who we are truly originally, so we can bring all these things into our lives which we are looking for in our lives. So we want to have that light ignited always, meaning staying in that awareness that I am this energy. And that's why some of you know that in Indian culture we have this tradition of putting that tilak in the center of the forehead. That is to remind ourselves and to stay ignited, that light. Because when the light is ignited, then it's illuminated, and it will illuminate the surroundings with the light of love and peace. So we have to remember, this is the new and original me. I am this light residing in this physical body, leading this journey, to enjoy this journey and to make others enjoy also. So once we went inwards and we find ourselves truly who we are, we have to know, who do I belong to? Because when I know my companion, when I know my guide, when I know my teacher holding my hand, I become free. My burden is reduced. I become very free that my teacher is there, my guide is there, my parent is there to help me in this journey. I don't have to just think that I am wholly responsible for this. I am responsible, but I can take the help of the higher energy, God. So to do that, we have to go upwards with the thoughts. With the thought energy, you go inwards, find the true inner self, and we go upwards and find that higher energy, God Himself, that supreme source, that supreme light, supreme energy, the supreme teacher, father, guide, everything that we're looking for, the ultimate source of energy that we can get connected to and we get restored. So we go upwards to reach Him, that supreme parent, and to reach our home, that supreme land of silence, land of peace. That's called Paramdham, the most elevated place, the land of silence. That is our home. We little stars of light, we have come from there and are playing our roles on this earth. And our supreme parent is there. And why we want love and peace and silence always is, our home is of peace. Our home is of light. That's why we feel good when we are peaceful and we want that peace. And there's abundance there. So when we take that upward journey, we reach our home where we have come to play our roles here and to reach that supreme source of energy, God, the highest on high, and to experience that abundance and to bring that newness. So this is the world of light, the soul world, where we have come from to play our roles. And when we take this upwards journey, we enjoy the adventure of discovering the depths of God's heart. Sometimes when you see the ocean, you see lots of waves and all, and we enjoy them. But as we go deeper and deeper into the ocean, you feel that stillness and the calmness and the peace. So we want to enjoy the depths of God's heart. We want to take that upward journey with the help of mind and thoughts. We'll experience that in the next few minutes in our meditation for a few minutes. But I want you to all remember this journey. Go inwards towards your true self. Know who truly you are. And go upwards. Find that supreme guide, teacher, supreme parent. And enjoy the company of God. And then why we need to do all that is, on this journey, we want to have this awareness as an actor, because that lights have come to play our roles in these physical bodies on this drama stage. So what it gives us, it tells us we all are unique. We don't want to worry about anyone else. No one is superior. No one is inferior. So that takes off all the highs and lows at all levels of life. We all are unique, playing our roles, which will help us to be at peace. And then I play my role to the best, with the inner awareness and with the company of the higher energy, God. So we have to practice all these things on a daily basis. And then awareness as a player, this world as a playground. So that way, when we lose, we don't get disheartened. We strive for that victory again. The victory is when we accept that and move forward. And then awareness as a guest, which is very important, because this world is like a guest house for us, because we have come from that soul world to play our roles in these physical bodies. So what happens? We'll explore it to the fullest, we'll enjoy it to the fullest, we'll enrich ourselves and others, and we stay loving but detached. We will not get attached to ourselves or things or possessions or people, because attachment makes us trapped. It won't let us love well. But detachment, as an awareness, as a guest, will make us very loving to people around us, will make us very loving towards our planet Earth, towards the self, when we are enjoying, exploring, and enriching ourselves in this journey. And then next, what did we say? I know who I am. I know my guide, companion, teacher, and I'm so filled. We radiate outwards in this journey. Because, like light doesn't say should I give light or not. A light, when lit, automatically gives the light. And light never says should I give for this one or not. It automatically gives to everyone. So we are the living lights. Only when we are aware of that, we are living lights. We are so abundant, and sharing happens in every thought, in every word, action, at all times, and naturally. So we want to stay as those living lights, living energies that radiate and illuminate our surroundings with that God's love, peace, and purity. So this is how we want to bring that newness. So everyone needs love. Everyone deserves love also, because we all are the children of the one highest on high Father. So radiate that pure love, like a flower offers its fragrance to all. It doesn't differentiate the other person holding the flower. It just gives. So that's how we should start giving and become that new. So we all understanding for the new world, the change is just ahead, that nature is giving us all the signals for that. So the new you just ahead. We just want to move forward and bring that new me, new us with the new world. So we'll sit in meditation for a few minutes, and then we'll take any questions if there's any. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Relax your feet. Relax your legs. Relax your back. Relax your neck. Relax your facial muscles also. Become completely relaxed. And notice that and experience that living light in the center of the forehead. See yourself, the true self, shining, pulsating star of light, the living energy, the true self. I am a peaceful, loveful being of light. I keep this light ignited always. I spread the rays of love and peace from the center of the forehead to the whole body. Calming the body, healing the body. I spread these rays of love and peace to all around me, creating an aura of love and peace. Whoever thinks of me also will feel that love and peace. With the help of my mind and thoughts, I see myself, the star of light, going beyond this body, beyond the roof of this room, beyond the sky, beyond the sun, the moon, the stars. Now enter into this world of light, golden, orange light. There's only light all around me. I'm submerged in this light and peace. This is my home. As I go deeper into this light, I see a shining, loving star of light. The supreme light. God, my supreme parent, showering the rays of love onto me. In this light, I see myself clearly that I am a peaceful being of light, God's child. God accepts me as I am. With His rays of love, I am getting cleansed, purified of all the false identities. I'm emerging new in the original self. I'm filled with God's love. Being filled with God's love, slowly, slowly, I start coming down towards the earth, back to this room, back to my position in the center of the foot, in the state of love and peace. And I share this love and peace to every soul in the world. I see my planet Earth in front of me, and I radiate this love to all the souls on the planet and to the Mother Nature. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Hope you experienced that God's love. You can spend how much ever time you want spending time with God. Now we just spent only a few minutes, but you can be there in that world of light and be with God how much ever time you want. Share whatever you want and get filled with whatever you want, and being in that state, lead our lives in this life. So we are taught Raj Yoga meditation at our Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center. So we have this every month, the courses. This January, it will start on January 8th, 4 consecutive weekends, Saturdays, Sundays. So it will be very beneficial for us to know who truly we are, how we can connect to that higher energy, and how we can take this physical journey as a spiritual being. So I would encourage you all to take it. And we have this guided meditation series from December 21st to 30th to experience life as a gift. No prior experience is needed. It will be very guided meditations, like thoughts you'll be given and you'll be experiencing them as you practice the meditation. So please share with your family and friends also, and everybody can join. And we have free well-being webinars at workplace. If you're interested, you can contact our teacher, Sister Kusum, and she'll help arrange them. And we have kids and parents classes, but just not for the next 2 weeks for the holidays, and we will begin them in January. So very quickly, our organization, Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual Organization, is a non-profit organization founded in 1936. We have over 1 million practicing members, and we have global presence in 130 countries with more than 8,000 centers. And our motto is to share this spiritual knowledge to help transform the self and so the world renewal. And we have to develop and cultivate a deep collective consciousness of peace and individual dignity of each being. And it helps us to transform the perspective of the world from material to spiritual. So locally, we are located in Milpitas at 540 South Able Street, Milpitas, and Sister Kusum is our director. She's director, teacher, guide, sister, and everything. She's very, very approachable for all of us, and she always teaches us the spiritual knowledge to help us close to ourselves and close to God, always helps us in every aspect of our lives. She has been practicing meditation since childhood and surrendered her life for godly service for 39 years. And she came to Bay Area 26 years ago and has been taking care of all of us at this meditation center. And so we have all these Raj Yoga meditation courses, webinars, events, and kids living value classes. And you can contact Sister Kusum and she can tell you when you can come to center also if you want to come to the meditation center now that things are opening up slowly. You can contact us at contact@svbrahmakumaris.org. And this is our website where you have all the information of all the events that happen. And for the new students, there is a very big resource of meditation, guided commentaries, classes, everything. And we do not charge anything, but if somebody wants to contribute when they get benefit, it's tax deductible. So thank you and happy holidays from Brahma Kumaris, Silicon Valley. Stay safe. If you have any questions, we can take them now.